Hello and welcome to the home of the Ghost Owl, and we are at our last episode of the faction events timeline for Warhammer the Old World, and we're looking at the Warriors of Chaos. You might say, well, where are all the elves? Well, the elves army books do have an events timeline, but it's not consistently written with the Imperial Calendar. Unlike every other single faction, there's no easy way to translate how their timelines are written into looking at the 23rd, 24th centuries of Warhammer the Old World, so it makes it very difficult to make such a video. So we are omitting the High Elves, Dark Elves and Wood Elves. But we are looking at the Warriors of Chaos now, Warhammer the Old World, end of the 23rd century. Let's see what the Warriors of Chaos were doing just before and just after the timeline of the Old World. So in 2281 to 2286. Now this is almost smack bang. Well, 2275 is supposed to be the actual timeline of the Old World if we believe the logo and the hidden year that we've seen in it. But 2281, 2286, the War of Sand and Snow. Valgar the Butcher leads his warband to the deserts of Khemri to raid the tombs of ancient kings. The Chaos Horde is ambushed on its return by Settra the Imperishable. Barely a dozen marauders make it back to Norsca bloodied, yet rich beyond their wildest dreams. Settra leads his armies north a decade later, and skeletal legions clash with ironclad warriors across the snowdrifts and frozen glaciers until the dead have reclaimed every last gold coin. Well, we know the Tomb Kings are part of the factions that are on the inside, if you like, of Warhammer the Old World, and clearly Settra, as we've seen with the other Tomb King Legendary Lords, are very active during this time, and in this case very active both in the lands of the dead but also up in the Chaos Wastes of the North, engaging the Warriors of Chaos. So that should give us an idea of what's going on there. Could Valgar the Butcher be one of the characters that we see for the Chaos? Who knows? In 2298, the merciless raider Sylar Anfingrim is brought to battle by an army of dispossessed villagers. However, Sylar is victorious and takes the corpses of his foes as trophies, tying them to the prows of his longships as grotesque figureheads. 2302 to 2303, the Great Invasion. Countless Chaos warbands unite under the banner of Asavar Kul, and a great portion of Kislev and the Empire is ground under the heel of the ruinous powers. The city of Prague falls to a bitter siege and is twisted into a hellish city of chaos. Kul's rampage is only stopped as the armies of the Old World, led by Magnus the Pious, defeat the Chaos Warlord at the Battle of Kislev's Gate. In 2302 to 2390, War in the Mountains. Valmir Aisling marshals his host at the dwarfen hold of Krakadrak. Unable to halt the march of the Chaos Warriors, King Silverbeard is forced to fell the mountain itself to prevent Valmir from invading the other dwarfen holds. The ensuing avalanche buries Krakadrak and all within beneath millions of tons of rock, entombing Valmir and his warriors inside the stronghold with the dwarfs. Though it takes decades of bitter fighting, Valmir succeeds in slaughtering every last dwarf in the doomed hold. 2370, the Chaos Warriors of Brass Keep repel an Empire army attempting to rout them out of the Middle Mountains. The Empire's artillery falls silent when the Chimerae fall upon the crews and tear them to ribbons. With the artillery destroyed, the doors of the Brass Keep grind open and a tide of frenzied warriors charge out, butchering the Empire's soldiers to a man. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the Warriors of Chaos key events during the 23rd and 24th century, and brings us to the end of this series of key events during the 23rd and 24th century for all the factions, based upon the timelines in the army books that they had in 8th edition, whether it was either issued in the 8th edition or the last one that was issued, i.e. like the Bretonians, which was a 6th edition book but was used in the 8th edition. Hope you've enjoyed this series, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Let me know why in the comments down below. And as always, if you want to see more content, please hit that subscribe button. It's free for you to do. It means a lot for me, and there is more content to come. And we still have faction-focused videos to do for factions like the Lizard Men, the Wood Elves, the Warriors of Chaos, and the Orcs and Goblins, all still to come. You've been watching The Ghost Owl. Tune back in for some more of our Warhammer the Old World content.